Hi, Cassie Oelberg from Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania here. I am getting ready to do sketch 4 from the March virtual crop. Now, last 2 weeks we combined natural beginnings with winter bliss. What if I told you that global getaway also goes really nice with it and the papers are perfect? So, this is a travel album. We're using winter bliss. We're going to throw in some global getaway. So let's go over and check that out. Okay, sketch 4. Super fun. Lots of cool things going on here. So let's start off and look at what Fast to Fab pages I picked. So we're going to use these, and they're just going to go perfectly with the things from Global Getaway. So let's start with, we're going to put a frame around it because I want to keep this center part. It's so pretty. So let's go ahead and move some things out of the way and talk about this frame. So we want it to be 1/4 of an inch, and it's going to go on 3 sides. So we're going to just take this and we're going to measure over to 1/4 of an inch, which is right at the end of this little cutting mat. And then we're going to bring it down to 1/4 of an inch. And we're just going to cut, gonna line this up right, and we're going to just cut straight down. Then we're going to flip it, measure over to 1/4 of an inch. And we're going to cut straight down. And then all we have to do is measure over to 1/4 of an inch. Bring it down 1/4 of an inch. And we're going to cut to the other 1/4 of an inch. And there we go. We have a skinny frame. And we're going to do that with our other side too. So we're going to bring this over and put it in at 1/4 of an inch. And this is one of the things I just absolutely love about this trimmer, is the fact that it cuts these skinny lines so well. Like, you can just feel the difference. Down to 1/4 of an inch. And now I'm going to flip and bring this. Oh, wait, which way do I want my, I want it to go this way. Yep, we're doing it right. Okay. Stop questioning yourself. Okay. Anybody else do that? You start to cut and then you're like, "Ooh, am I doing this right?" So then we're going to go from the cut line to the cut line. And there we go. So we have these 2 skinny frames. Now I'm going to make the skinny frames again, because for the other one, I'm going to use the reverse. So need to make sure I have it on here the right way. I need it to be, need to go right inside of here. So I'm going to lay this out. And this fits right inside of here. So I'm going to use the reverse side and cut a skinny frame. So I'm going to measure over 1/4 of an inch. And remember, since it's a 3-sided frame, it's not the same on both sides. That's why I had to make sure that I was doing it the right way. Bring this down to 1/4 of an inch. And then we're going to flip it. And I try to keep my 3-sided frames as simple as possible. There we go. Okay. So then this one is going to go right inside of here. And now we're going to bring our other one over. This is going to go the opposite direction. And we're going to put it inside of here, make sure we have it the right way. And now we need it to go here like this. So we're going to rotate it a little and put it in at 1/4 inch. Do you remember those tests that we used to have to do where we rotated the shapes? Sometimes I feel like, you know, I really did get to carry that into adulthood. I need it for scrapbooking. And then we're going to bring this over, measure to 1/4 inch. And then we're going to get these down onto our page so we don't rip them, tear them, tug them, or otherwise damage them. Okay. So, put our 2 sets off to either side. They won't quite be on camera, but that's okay because the pages will be, and that's what matters. This one needs to go here because we've got a page on the back. And this one will go here. Okay. So move some things out of my way. Wow, I am making quite the mess today. This is quite funny. Okay. This way. And now I can find the tape. Here it is. And let's make this happen. I'm going to put the darker one on the outside. It's just going to look better to have the darker one on the outside and the not as dark one on the inside. So, bring this over. And now what's really nice is I'm not layering all of that paper, right? Because I could have used a whole piece of paper here and layered a whole nother piece of paper on top of it. But by doing these little skinny frames, it takes me a couple of extra seconds. But now I have all that pretty paper to use. And I get to take advantage of the prettiness of the Fast Fab page. So this one's going to go in here. And notice I chose a piece that I could just easily reverse and use the other side for the second frame. And that's nice because then it was already cut to the right size. Otherwise, I would have wanted to cut that to 11.5 by 11.75. And then I could have made the skinny frame from a different sheet of paper. But since this one lent itself very well to using both sides, I went ahead with that. So sometimes, you know, you just have to take a little thought. I had originally chosen a different sheet of paper that I liked the dark outside for, but I really didn't love the flip side for the second frame. So I just switched it out for another one because there's so much pretty paper in this global getaway. This one down. And I love the continuity of my album using these Fast Fabulous pages throughout and then mixing it up with the Winter Bliss, the Natural Beginnings, the Global Getaway, and they all look beautiful together. It's like they did it on purpose just for us. Just like. So my husband always says to me whenever he does something on purpose to make my life better or happy, and then he says, it's just like I did that on purpose, just like. It always makes me giggle. Okay. A little skinny frame down here, all the way around. And there we go. Okay, next up, we have this banner. It is 2.5 by 10.5, and I'm going to use this. So it's going to come in at 2.5. Flip up my little arm to get my 10.5. And now I'm just going to make my banner. If you have not done this before, you're going to fold it at the edge, corner to corner. And then you want to do your cut from the folded edge down to the corner. If you go the other way, you're going to end up with a kind of a funky looking pointy thing, which I have had people do before. It's not a big deal. You just make your banner a little bit shorter, or some people opt to go with the pointy thing. Okay, so now that's going to go down. And next we want these cute little banners that are going to go across the bottom. So that's our next layer. And we're going to go ahead and grab, let's see, what do we want to use? The scallop that I keep forgetting to put away. Let's use that. Then I can put it away. So we're going to take our scallop and we are going to make some borders to go across here. And I'm going to go ahead and make it from this paper. So this says 9 1/4 by 1 5/8. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to go one. Well, first let's trim off this side, silly me. And then when you trim it like that, if you want it to be wavy that way, you're going to flip it. And now we're going to go to the 1 5/8. Silly me. Not flip it. Oh, Cassie. Oh yeah, I gotta go the other direction. 1 5/8. There we go. Flipped it that direction. It's good to do these things on camera so people can see exactly the whole process. So I'm gonna go this way, and I gotta rotate it so it'll do the same thing. I was trying to do a flip paper trick so I could measure that direction, but apparently my brain is not going to be function at that high of capacity at this particular moment, and that's okay. Then you're going to remember to take your scallop blade back out. And the other thing you want to remember is always face your scallop, the word scallop, towards creative memories, and that way it makes it a little less hard to mess up that scallop cut. I have been I've taught how to do it so many different times, and as you noticed, it doesn't matter how often you do it. Sometimes you just have to practice a little, and oh dear, gotta put the blade in. And so as you saw, I just did a little tiny bit of a cut, and it did not mess up my project at all to flip it around whenever it wasn't going the way I wanted it to. But you do want to just watch for that to make sure that your scallop's going the way you want it to. Okay, so now we need a banner here. And then we need a banner over here. And these are going to go across here. And now we can add in our mats. So I'm going to go ahead and use the inside of this paper because I can. And I'm going to make myself this 10 1/4 by 8 3/4. And I always cut my larger one first, just in case I'm wrong and it's not quite big enough. So 10 1/4 by 8 3/4. And that's going to go over here. And now on this side, I'm just going to mat 2 pictures. So I'm not going to cut those mats quite yet. I'm going to pull my pictures out. I do need my little banner for over here. And that one is 1 1/2 by 1 1/4. So I'm going to just bring this little banner over here. Hold a point down to the corner. And it's going to go here. And now I am going to put the pictures on here. So I have Stonehenge. And I think this could be a good 4 by 4. This could be a good 4 by 4. This over here could be a good 4 by 4. This is a good one for my 4 by 6. Of course, this is my 4 by 6 and my 4 by 6. And there we go. And I love a layout like this because it gives me lots of options of sizes of pictures. Of course, remember that when you're making them, you can always vary the size a little bit. You don't have to do exactly what the layout calls for. So this is going to go here. I'm going to do my 4 by 4 photo here. And let's go ahead and get these things all taped down on the side of the page. So this is going to go right here. Let this go here. And so this is the great thing about a sketch. Do you see how I'm just building right from the sketch using papers that all go nicely together? And you don't have to overthink it, and it's going to come together nice. So as long as you're using papers that you like together, then you can take those measurements and build. The only time you have to vary it is if you decide to use a slightly different size photo. And then you might want to vary it a little bit. Repositionable is our friend whenever we're not measuring to put the pictures down. I often don't. And I'm trying to show you exactly the way I do it. Of course, some people line it up on the mat and get it exactly perfect, and that works too. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. So now this one's going to go down. And I put my pages next to each other so that I can make sure that I have the spacing approximately the same. Some people use a ruler, some people use their mat. And now I'm going to bring this piece over And I am going to cut myself a 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. And I love the size of this little one. It's great for being able to quickly slice off your smaller pieces. But it's also, of course, great for photos. I try not to use my 12-inch trimmer for photos just because it dulls it a little bit. But if I do want to, then I use a special blade, and that gets marked with a P, and it becomes my photo cutting blade. But normally, I'm just going to go ahead and use my little photo trimmer unless I'm somewhere with limited space and I can only take one trimmer with me, or if I'm being lazy, or if my trimmer's across the cabin. These are all reasons that I might change my mind and deviate from that. Full honesty, right? Okay, and this one's going to go right up against here. Oh, love how that's coming together. I am going to add another photo up here just because I want to. I have a lot of photos of Stonehenge, and if I get a few more on the page, I'll be happier. Oh, there we are, jumping. Oh, so fun. I think I will use this one. Love my daughter looking out over the ruins, the dark clouds coming in. So put this one up here, and I'm not going to mat this one. Just going to kind of go up here. And now I can add some embellishments. Lots of cute things I can do with this one. So many cute things. I'm going to put this heart here for my baby girl. Don't need a date. I love the embellishments in this pack. I mean, they are so cute. Oh, this one might be fun. Enjoying the view. She is enjoying the view, but it's not what I want there. So cute. Okay. Hop over to my stickers and see what I want. Oh, World Wanderer. That's what I want. This chickie, if you don't know my daughter, she really is a world wanderer. She travels all over the place. We're going to add this one down here. My 2 sweetie hearts. 3 sweetie hearts all on one page. Wonder where I went. Must be the picture taker. Okay. And I don't really feel like I need much over here. Maybe down here in the corner. Do a little grouping. So travel really is my therapy. And that one. I want one more thing to go with this. Let's see what I like. Oh, I like this map. I like this map a lot. I'm going to layer this one on top. So I put a little tape here. This up here. And just do a little grouping down here. Love it. Okay, and that's it. That's a wrap. Embellished and ready to go. I do have to journal, guys. I do have to journal. I'll yell at myself about that later, but super happy. Okay, I hope you all have a wonderful day and you get some scrapping done. Thanks so much.